Welcome everybody to a gone.net as I hide the overlay and show these faces. Probably should have stuck with the overlay.
Still working on the kinks of being an audio video editor. This is why John preferred podcasts.
Yeah, it's so much easier. But I had the music. Hopefully that actually worked. We'll see.
Well, I guess we'll see. It's a catchy tune. So let's keep that going.
Yeah, well, I need to like normalize the volume better because the slider of what it can choose is almost at the lowest. I couldn't I needed more pixels to make it not as loud.
At least I'm not deaf this time. Last time you played that thing,
yeah,
I went deaf. So.
I'll try and remember to on the outro one. Actually, I think it is still it's still low, so it'll be good.
Okay, all right, we'll see.
Maybe
if I'm deaf for the next episode, then just means you have to do all the talking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I am drinking my normal swill today, or as you call my coffee swill. Although it's better. It's better. It's better now.
Is it what is it? Is it Keurig still or no?
No.
I got you to get the Nespresso, right?
Yeah, the Nespressos, because my Keurig actually exploded. Like it literally caught on fire for some reason, so that was great. So, but it's a blast from the past cup. Look at that one.
I use that cup. I don't have a coffee right now, but like if I did, it would probably be in that mug because I have two of them.
It's a great mug.
Yeah.
It's a great mug.
The one that I had from years ago, the thing started kind of falling off, but I got a new one when they were cleaning out the stuff in Boston. There was like a storage closet and they were just like cleaning it out. And still like even a few months ago, they're like, okay, like all of this is like going in the garbage if we don't clean it out. So like who wants it, right? So we brought a bunch of it to Prague, to that office of what was left. There was like backpacks still, and
there was a lot of swag in that era.
Yeah,
I have my own swag too. This is my water cup.
Ooh, fancy. I have T-shirts coming soon, apparently.
You've said that. We're waiting to see them.
Olama farmer T-shirts. I wanted to like order some just so like you can't really tell when you're designing it how well it's going to look or not, obviously, right? Like when it's actually in person. And my fear is that it's like going to be pixelated. So I'm hoping that's not the case.
So John is making T-shirts of all the AI jokes he can think of.
Yeah.
And I think we were talking today about doing T-shirts about all the one-line zingers we seem to come up with.
I don't know. There's
not
just
on the stream. Sometimes not on the stream.
No, sometimes not on the stream. There's just something that like I don't know. I have a problem that I just often like these things pop into my head and I'm like, oh, that would make a fun graphic. And now with ChatGPT, it's just like you just iterate a bit on it and make it, a T-shirt printable graphic. And it's like I can't do that myself, but it then turns out.
What's with all the old-fashioned too? It's
I like it. It's
like Cracker Barrel imaging.
Yeah, but like not as problematic of old timey images. Although maybe the one that I generated, it was. Did you get the reference to the one that I generated earlier?
I did not.
So in Prohibition, so let's back up because we were talking about Apple has their event coming up, right? September 9th, right?
Okay.
That's next Tuesday. And forever, Alan has been just desperately wanting a foldable iPhone. And because we both are not Android users, otherwise you could have one already, but that's Android.
They're talking 20th anniversary. I'm sure it's coming. It's coming in about a year.
Eventually, I think, yes. But that was, there's been like rumors every time for the last like 2 or 3 years, like, oh, maybe this is the year. And there was like some pretty solid, it looked like leaks today or recently that I had sent you an article with, and it's like just no foldable this year. And so what did you say? What was your exact phrase?
Until the phone folds, I'm not unfolding my wallet.
I should probably update the graphic with that text. So I that reminded me, and I think this is why I like making these T-shirt ideas, because these things always remind me of like some like propaganda poster or like some old timey thing, and that's why I do it the old timey style, because it reminds me of it. So in Prohibition, there's like a famous photo of a group of ladies that are like around and pointing to a sign that says, "Lips that touch liquor shall not touch ours, right? So like if you're drinking, you're not getting lucky.
All right.
And so that was my, and I even told it, I'm like, make it, in the style and the theme of like this Prohibition era sign. And it came out with the graphic I sent you, which is like a bunch of old ladies in like an illustration, all like around a folding phone with it, until it folds, our wallets shall not unfold.
So coming soon to a T-shirt near you.
Yeah.
Don't steal the idea. That was a good one, Zinger.
Yeah. Maybe that store, because the one I'm doing for AI, I'm like, I don't want to make money at any of this. But we could maybe do the one store that we do for the podcast to cover, costs and whatever. Because we don't do sponsors or anything at this point anyway. And it's not, super expensive to do, but it costs some money to run these things. So, we could put it towards
cover cost and put the rest towards charity.
We could do that too. And that's what I do on the AI one, right? But we can, I guess, cover the costs of the podcast and put the rest. But even if it's like you can name the price, right? When you do it, you're like, oh, the t-shirt cost is like $18. I'm going to sell it for, okay, maybe make it $20. Kick a couple bucks back.
But then do we get tariffed?
Oh, well, and this is where I was like, I picked Bonfire for the other one because it's easy to do. Like, no money comes to me. It just goes right to the charity, any of the proceeds. That's why I wanted to do that. Cause I don't want to mess around with anything. Like then I have to do all of the accounting and stuff.
Proving it.
Yeah. And then like, if you're donating, like it's sketchy. Right. And I don't really want to like sell something under the premise of this is benefiting charity and then have me responsible for ensuring that happens. Like nope. I want it all to be super legit. So Bonfire is like nice for that, but shipping to Canada sucks. So there's got to be a platform that does like the direct to charity thing.
I'm not sure. So I gave you Redbubble, and apparently they're out of Toronto. I think.
There's also Vistaprint. They're like local around here. They have an office actually. But I don't know. You have
a company near you?
Yeah, I know, right? In Windsor somewhere. I don't know if they do like the direct to charity payment thing, and
probably not.
Like I said, that's kind of how I want to roll it because I don't want to deal with money.
At least the CRA is backed up, so you probably won't hear from them for several years. But
yeah, no, it's less for me, more for like I always find it sketchy when I like go to buy something from something like that, and you're like,
is that going to charity?
Yeah, is it really? It's like when you go to the grocery store and they're like, oh, donate $1 to. You're like, how much is that actually going? Like, I don't know. I'll just not and donate on my own.
Well, the problem is a lot of charities they're like 2% goes to the actual charity,
the
actual cause, and then 98% goes to employees and stuff, which I get.
Yeah, oh yeah, you have costs, but like you can go like there's sites that list this, right? You can kind of go look up how like efficient a charity is in terms of their administration costs and stuff, but
we need some good .NET t-shirts.
Yeah, and you got to be a little careful because it can't be, we don't want to like get into weird territory legally with like I don't know what's copyright and whatever.
I think the robot's pretty open source.
Yeah, no, that's true, and that's why I was happy enough to use it as the like inspiration for the show logo, right? Because it was open, and so like it's a derivative work. I mean, I had AI do it, so who knows what that means, but I think it's fine.
To be fair, I gave you the robot first, and you told me it was awful. You absolutely hated it. Now I get it. I made it look kind of stupid, but that's what I do.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so we can. Anyhow, John came up. We had that the Muppets, the grumpy Muppets.
Yeah.
It depends on the day who's grumpier out of the two of us, but it's usually me. So then we turned ourselves in. Well, John turned us into the .NET robots being the angry old Muppets.
ChatGPT did.
Okay, well, you inspired it.
I directed it.
AI doesn't think of anything. You just tell it what to do.
Yeah,
and it's like, hey,
I could do that. And then like you go back and forth, and you're like, no, like I did this with the t-shirt designs where it was like, oh, like add like use like brackets and stuff like to make it like more coding, like, and it would do like brackets, and then I would ask it to change something else, and it would change that, but then it would also like change one of the brackets. I'm like, I didn't tell you to do that. Like, what are you doing?
That's how it goes. Although I tell you, the AI's it's the .NET mechanisms. At least I've been fighting with them lately. John's off in Python world, so he doesn't talk as much .NET these days. But I usually now instead of swearing at him about some mobile thing, now I get to be like, dude, what's this AI crap today?
Yeah.
But it's been getting better. I've been, the extensions AI. What are they calling it? Mia. So Microsoft extensions AI.
Yeah, there's a bunch of packages. Good. Yeah, no, it's. I mean,
it's
I think we're
be all end all.
We're at the point where like Python is used, and I'm using it because like the team that I'm working on is very like start using like whatever's new and out there, right? And most of AI stuff is kind of traditionally rooted in like data science, and those people traditionally are into Python because it there's some really good aspects for working with it in that kind of area. So it's kind of a natural evolution of that line of work. And now we've gotten to the point where like, I don't know, you go look at like libraries and stuff for anything new, and it's like Python is for sure going to have an SDK for it, probably TypeScript, and then maybe that's it, right? Like, so but I think we're getting a little bit past it, or like maybe the industry's kind of settling a bit on like the different APIs, right? Like most things have like an OpenAI API compatible interface to them, right? Like a chat API. Like most AI things have kind of converged on the idea that there are chats with agents and stuff, and that's kind of here now. So hopefully, we're a little bit more democratized in terms of that being what everyone uses, and then we have libraries that work with it, and you can use it anywhere you want, and you're not at a disadvantage if you pick .NET over Python.
I think the biggest challenge still is consistency, right? You just never know if you're going to get the slow AI, the uneducated AI, or if it's going to respond. So you work on your shirt, the prompt engineer.
Truly,
it's a thing, right? You have to put it in a box, and really say, do not go outside of this.
Yeah,
and so it takes quite a few, practice. It takes a bit of practice to frame it, then get the structured output the way you want, and kind of continue forward. But once you've got it, it's a pretty cool thing.
And a lot of like different products now kind of focus around that concept too, where like have you ever used, I installed Open Web UI, which is like, there's a few different things out there that people use, like LM Studio, Olama, right? Olama Farmer, that's probably like the popular one. There's this web-based one that kind of aims to just clone, in a sense, like the ChatGPT interface, just like Olama kind of does, and Claude. But it's like you can host it on Docker and have it either connect to Olama or connect to OpenAI or connect to LM Studio or whatever. And one of its things is, I think, I hope I'm talking about the right thing. If I'm not, it's a different tool. Maybe it's LM. No, it is this. You can like have like a multiple models like compete on the same prompt to see your outcome, which is better. And then you kind of like start working through sets like that, and it's designed for that whole idea, right? Like, what model should I pick?
When I'm working on something simple and I just want to prove out an idea, I open up Copilot, right? Because it's a very simple interface. Now, Copilot though is pretty intelligent, right? Because I think it's being fed a lot of stuff. So usually the prompt you can give it like a half-ass prompt, and it'll be like, "Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'll cover for your lack of smarts."
Oh yeah,
and figures it out. So then you have to you start with that, and then you can kind of put it in. I find, I don't know, it's so easy to set up the chat and the way you're going to set up an app to work with AI that usually I just go straight to that engine as opposed to competing, because it's easy to flip the model at that point, right? So you're right, though. Comparing them side by side would be cool.
Well, but I mean, for most of them, kind of why I like this, like Open Web UI, for instance, because you can swap out models, but still kind of do the, have the one interface for it, right? You're not having to go like ChatGPT for this or Claude for that.
For the most part, for like the apps that I work on, kind of customer centric or B2C, even a couple B2Bs, you're just going to be using like GPT if it doesn't need to, like G41 or the OSS model. If you don't need a lot of brain power. And then I don't know, I haven't had a lot of success with 5, and it's fairly expensive to run, so I haven't had success with it yet. But 4.1 in the OSS, if you really want to, somewhere down there, and 5, be prepared to pay until it's the old guy on the block, and then
it'll come down. It's all that VRAM.
Now for our cool app, so John and I have been writing the heads up clone, and we had to have AI in it first of all, because I don't know about you, but I'm not smart enough to think of all these categories, and I don't really want to go steal them out of the game. So our plan has been, we're going to put in some of the things we can think of, like Disney princesses. That one keeps coming up. John and I don't have a love for Disney princesses, but we both love Disney, and our kids love Disney, so we know.
Stupid.
I mean, I played that game in line. It's awesome, right?
Yeah.
It's up in line.
Yep.
At Disney, they give you the free pack.
Yep.
So we're using AI for that. It's a small little bit, but it's in there. We can put AI in our title. But at this point,
it's a good use of it, honestly. I think. I like it.
It's good. It's working. I'm going to share my screen at this point.
Yeah. Where are we at? Where did we leave off?
So I decided to get a little bit ahead because nobody wants to see, and John will just get on you for all your typos. So, I did a couple things. I brought in kind of this POC video recording. Yeah, I know. I got to get it bigger. Yeah, I'm getting there. Hang on. Oh, that's smaller. You can't read that?
No. I mean,
I wonder how much. Look at that. Look at how small I can get it. It's kind of useless, but I can't even see it.
That's probably good.
All right. So I brought in this video recording service. It's funny it came over as video recording service and not iRecorder, but this is just something I've coded up for another project. And that's kind of you put it on your forehead and you record all the people that are trying to tell you how to get to the answer. So I brought that over. It's going to work. It's going to do what we need it to do. We've been working on these answer detectors, and that's like the flip up for pass, flip down for, good, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to need to start and stop those, which we'll get to today. And then here's our, we've had our accelerometer, and our speech to text answer detector. So I've kind of coded these in a little bit for now. So we've got correct, pass, close enough. We should probably think of some others. Here, and let's do some fall throughs because, that's what I do. So this is basically going to hear what we say. So if you've got a guy going, I say Elsa, not Queen Elsa or whatever the hell her name is, my daughter will go, close enough, Daddy. So it should pick up the close enough, and kind of flip that through. So these are at a stage where we can probably start testing them in the near future. But I think where we really were, I've also got the accelerometer stuff. So the flip up and flip down.
Okay. Okay. That's not, I was going to be curious, like how ugly that code was going to look or not. Just not that it's difficult, but because you're really just taking the y-axis, and is that going to be correct on every phone? Does that work for Android and stuff too?
Yeah, we'll come
Does
back
everyone
to it.
agree? Yeah.
The values are more or less the same between Android and iOS. The thing will be, I've tested this with the phone sideways, and I think it's different when you get in to different things. So we might have to introduce some orientation, but for now, who cares?
Yep.
So this will do the trick.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got that. And I believe at that point, we're pretty much good to our service layer is at a stage where we can kind of start flipping through
this video. So you said you have an implementation already?
I do. And
what's that? Is it your own thing? Is it using something else?
Oh, this is my, so this is my own thing. I had, I'm just changing the interface name because I'm not sure why that didn't come over. But it is my own thing. I may release it as open source, or people can steal it from the project. Its goal is just basically I can't even take all credit for it because I think Claude ended up doing a good chunk of this anyways. So it basically made all the native iOS code that I need for his support. I had to help it out because some of the stuff was stupid. And I also don't think we want to capture audio, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
So this will capture it without a frame being actually visible on the screen, because that was something we wanted. So believe it or not, I am using this in another project, and it will do what we need it to do.
Yeah, it's just one of those things I've never used, right? So
I have tested this, so we'll see how it goes anyways. It's just kind of part of our overall. See, it's even got my POC's namespace still on it. So that's how cool it is. So let's fix that too. Yeah, so that's good. Base recorder. I don't know why I have Catalyst in here.
I will be right back.
Yep. I will entertain while you're gone. John's dog is probably gone to kill someone, so that's what happens. I have a cat, and sometimes my cat sounds like something's dying. So if you hear anything in the background, that's just my cat. She's fine. She's just old. All right. So we have our video recorder service. This looks good. This is the Android version. So we've got that injected. So I think last week where we left off was on our game screen, which is this guy. So this is our view model where we had started. We have our answer detectors coming in. We just need our new video recorder. We'll bring that in. And I think what we're going to do is let's make this async void. It's fine doing async void. And we're going to request the video recorder starts. And we'll use the front camera. And oh, we need an output path. So we'll come to that in a second. We want to use the front camera. And let's not capture the audio for now. And I'm going to do path.combine. I'm just going to use the file system static for now. Data directory, and we'll call this, I think what I was going to do is we've got a game context here.
So that was the live delivery of, how did my dog get in here? Of the bonfire delivery, which is kind of funny.
Oh, you can show off the t-shirts. There you go.
We'll see live if they turned out. And speaking of which, I did get taxed on them.
Oh, there you go. That's how it goes. All right. So I was just making our game recording. So this was all of the recording, or the start recording the video. There we go. Just make this a little bit more pretty.
All right. I think it turned out pretty well. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, there we go. You're an official Olama farmer.
Yeah, it's pretty, the quality is there.
That's nice.
That. Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Where's the other one? Did you show it?
I only got the one because yeah, I should have ordered the other ones. I'm like, I'll just get the one and see how the quality is, and if that one's good, probably the other one's fine.
All right. So we don't need, it's just got start and stop. So what we're doing here is I am going through each of these guys. I'm starting up each detector. So what we're going to do is that's going to start the accelerometer, the voice to speech. It's going to do any of the permission checks. If they don't start or the user denies permissions, who cares? We'll throw them out. We'll start the video recording the same way. And once all of our services are up and going, we will start the actual game. So and I think this is where we left off, was the game loop.
Oh yeah, we're kind of going back and forth with Copilot on how to do that.
And I think what we want to do is, this doesn't need to be precise by any means,
right?
But we can do, the timer, and then stop game is going to stop the game, and the game loop will run every second.
I guess are you running it once there on purpose just to start it?
I think so. This was AI decided to do this, or I kind of got in the way of AI doing what it wanted to do. But yeah, we needed to tick the first second, right? And timers don't actually fire the first, like when you start them. So we need to actually trigger it once. And then, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this in reverse. Oh, can I do it like that? So it triggers.
It depends. Are we like looking at the, yeah, no, I think that should work. We're not like looking at the timer in the loop to see if there's certain elapsed amount or something like that. I don't remember.
We'll figure that out. So we got to trigger it once. We'll see how this goes. We're going to have to trigger the first loop because timers don't. And then when the timer hits, we've got that. And then this is our... So the funny thing is it's decided if the game is running to stop running the loop, which that is wrong. This is game running. We'll need to detect the state, right? Because we don't, there's like a timer.
Yeah, I mean, if we detect the game is over, we can stop the timer.
Right. I think that's what we want to do. And then we got the main thread. If it's less than 0, stop the game and return. Otherwise, it updates the timer. God, that's gross. Look at what it did. Just main thread everywhere. So we'll come to that. We do a vibrate. I'd almost rather see an event, but you know, you want to kind of be in charge of how these events go. So like if it's less than 10 seconds, we're going to vibrate. We should probably play a sound as well.
Yeah.
And the one thing that we haven't done is we probably also want to start some music. We should put that here too. I'm going to do, I don't know where we're going to get it from, but start some music. And then what's going to happen is we're going to come through. It's going to run this. So I think now the question is, why is there 2 game loops?
Well, that's the elapsed, right? You probably don't need the game loop. Like the loop is in whenever weird. The timer hits.
So that's the timer. Game is running.
Yeah, this looks like AI just kind of was like, I'm just going to do a bunch of things.
It's going to put a task delay. Is game running? But see, it's checked it. So while is game running, if game is running. So it's already running, dude. Way to go. Move to the next answer. It's got some, yeah, this was friggin' weird. So we might have to look at that. This is the right stuff, right? So if it's going to loop, it's going to do the current answer. It's going to set the state to set our game to blue.
Yeah, but we have like, I don't know. This feels like we still have 2 spots, right? Like we
need to center. We need to definitely center this.
I just mean in terms of you've got a loop call that's doing like some of the state update, but like in the other spot is where we're doing the timer text update and like.
Yeah, we need to centralize that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would either put all the stuff back in the timer elapsed or maybe make the timer elapsed call the loop.
Well, let's bring up this stuff because we know we need some version of this crap, right? We do need it.
Yeah.
This is awful though.
Oh yeah. This whole like last couple hundred lines of code or whatever is just, it's almost more confusing than not having anything to start.
Vibe coded, man.
Yeah. And sometimes you get into that state.
This was a rough shot. So I'm going to get rid of game loop. I might still end up putting this in so this is our timer loop.
Yep.
All right. Our timer's still going to have to tick and do these things, but we need to get our game loop into there. So let's just put this back here. Async game loop. So we're going to have to maybe set a flag, like if they got the answer right, because we're going to want to show pass.
Yep.
We're going to want to show correct.
Yeah, so I think
flag that for 2 seconds and then flip it back.
I mean, the way that maybe I would generally approach this is like almost like one big enum of possible states. And then
could do that.
And then you detect what state you're in. And then when you have your method to apply state, you're basically just doing one simple logic tree of, hey, this state, do these things. This state, do these things. So like there's the state, the detection of what state you're in phase, and then the application of what that does to the UI.
What if we break this down a little bit differently? So the one thing about waiting for the answer is we're going to put the answer up, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to be in the state of, here's the answer that's there, right?
Yep.
The timer's still running, doesn't matter. We're still in that. We're still going to have this thing that's running, waiting for the answer to come up, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to, I think what we can do here is, I'm going to copy this for now. Let's focus on the first thing, just the actual, how the hell do I get an answer, right? So if I do, I'll make this a task just for now. I don't have a better answer for it. Now I am going to put in a cancellation token.
So this is the thing that you're going to just like kick off when we start the game, and it's just going to do its thing.
Well, this is going to be sitting no matter what, right?
Yep.
So this is going to be the case
and you're giving it the cancellation token so that like when we're happy that we don't need these listeners, we can just stop it.
Well, if for instance, because the answer is going to be up screen no matter what. So timer's still ticking. That's still running. We're still waiting for this. When the timer runs out, if we've got one of these answers that the user's stuck on, we'll cancel the task. Great. Otherwise, when this thing completes, we'll loop it, go to the next answer.
Yep.
But what we can do is we can have the timer task detecting the state, right? So what I could do here is, well, not canceled. Well, the cancellation token is not canceled. Right? Just keep doing these things. I'm going to move this to a function though, because I hate looking at this crap. This looks awful. This looks awful. So while we're doing this, we would set the answer text is equal to the game context current answer. So that's our current one. And then we're going to wait for our answer, for an answer. And if the cancellation token isn't canceled, we move to, so we would do game context. How do we do mark answer with whatever we get, right? Because we're going to get an answer type. We'll just put pass for now. And then this should go up into the loop again. And then we're sitting here waiting for an answer from one of our things. So that's the actual answer loop. We're not setting the state as much as we're just setting, here's the next question, right? So this is like an off task loop.
Yeah.
So I need to move this out because this is triggering me big time.
And you're not going to do that in your loop.
Wait, I am, but I am. So I'm going to do, and this is going to be the answer type. So these are going to be running no matter what, right? The start and stop is just running. We're just trying to get the first answer out.
Yeah.
So we'll come back. So basically what I'm going to be doing is this dot wait for answer. That's also going to need maybe cancellation token, probably. Let's just pass it just because. So we're going to pass in our cancellation token so it doesn't sit here and wait. So this should be our answer type, right? So this is what we want to keep iterating on every time. And then we still need to be able to flip the script here though. So we marked an answer. We went to the next one, but we'll have to say our current state, set the current state of the screen for timer loop. Something like that. Am I making sense so far? Am I crazy?
I think so. I'm still looking at the wait for answer, and like we're selecting all of the detectors every time we wait for an answer and registering a new.
So the good thing is the event's going to be listening no matter what. Right. So we're not stopping the voice to text stuff.
No,
we're not stopping.
Just getting
Yeah, we're just listening. Give us the first guy that says good or bad. That's great, and then we'll wait for the next round.
Yep. Okay.
The only difference is that I need to try catch this. Try finally this. Okay. Try.
And you need to
finally unhook.
Do something with the detector tasks.
So we've got those. We break those out. I don't know what the hell it was doing here.
Yeah.
Dude, what happened? Okay. So I'm going to create a handler. I'm going to do this. Okay, so what do we need here? We need answer type. And that's going to give an answer type. That's there. This looks a little bit better. And then we've got the TCS. So we're trying to set whoever wins. Am I going crazy here?
No, I think you're good. Because you're going to now.
I'm going to do this a little bit better for each detector.
Mm-hmm.
Hook it.
Yep.
Let's get rid of some of those. And then finally, no matter what, unhook the handler. Now I need to move that handler and completion token up.
And then since we're using try set result, we'll be fine. You know, the first one will trigger it, right?
Yep. And I need to do, oh yeah, see, AI's on it. So it needs to register the cancellation token to cancel the task. If it can, there we go. I think that looks right. Why are you angry about this?
Is it a proper event handler?
I guess it wants me to do this full out. Func bool. It's not a bool though.
Oh, because it's what's your answer to yeah?
I don't want to return it though.
The other, so what answer detectors is where is that coming from again?
That's the flip up, flip down.
No, but it's yeah. So it's either one of them, right? Could we not just? I guess the detected. Yeah, never mind. It's an event, so we can't just. I was trying to think if we could do like a task when any here.
We can. It's not. It's actually not necessary because we're going to hook.
Yeah, and then as soon as the first one fires, it's fine.
If any one of these dies for any reason, we want to unhook them because they're singletons. We've got our task cancellation. So if while we're waiting for the answer, if that fails, this will kick in.
But wait. Because you're try. So we go through each of them. We hook the event.
Yep.
And then immediately after we hit the finally block.
Oh, we have to wait for the answer.
We got to wait for those. Yep.
Yeah. Good point. So we're going to return. Here, we can take this part and do that. There.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
That's good?
I think so. I don't know. It's always good until you run it and then you're like, oh, that was dumb when you do something that you don't see immediately.
The only thing I don't like is sometimes unhooking these this way, because this is finalies kind of execute off thread. They're a little bit, people don't realize that finalies are weird little beasts. All right. So I think I'm happy with that, barring no bugs. There'll be no bugs. We mark our answer, which sets our, did we answer this correctly? We wait for the answer. That's great. So we don't need that. So the only thing we need to do at some point is after this, we need to change the state so that the timer loop knows to, okay, you got it, you passed or you were correct. So we're going to change that state for X amount of seconds, show it. We're going to stop the game timer. There's a lot of shit that has to happen here. Eh?
Well, yeah, that's why it gets confusing quickly, right? Because it's like you need to transition states, but you can't do that immediately necessarily because you want to display the state for a bit.
And this is going to be off. So this is going to run off script kind of. So it's almost like a void. We don't want to wait it. We just kind of want it to fire and keep going as long as it's not canceled. So this can be a task, but I think basically what we're going to do is one of those do answer and then pass in the cancellation token.
Yeah.
So I think we're good here. We know what we got to do. Okay. So let's get rid of whatever the hell AI did here. I don't want that. I'm not even sure. So it's kind of right.
Yeah.
It's kind of right, but it's not entirely right. Okay, we're going to comment out that because this was our earlier thinking. And let's just get rid of pretty much everything.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm I was thinking it's like, you
like,
know what?
like everything.
It just it's kind of confusing if you're trying to figure out what it's doing. It's easier just to start clean.
So we don't need that anymore. Let's just bring this up now.
So we do have the screen state thing. So that's
we're on the right track.
Does that screen state already show? Does it have all of the states that we need? Like, should we think through this as a like, what is the progression of different states that we need to go through?
So we need. Okay, I brought this up because this code is still useful, right? So I think we're clean here. We've got our game timer elapsed.
Yep.
The game state we need times up. So they've got like this third state, which it's added somehow, which is fine.
And the end state is always times up, right? Like there's no.
Yeah, we'd say, hey, game over. Timer text, times up, game over. I'm not sure bread is the back.
Yeah.
You died, you lost, but we can fix that.
That's fine.
That should end the timer, which I believe it does. It's a very weird way of skipping out, but that's all right. It'll return out here. And the only other thing is we'll need to have some sort of way to navigate out, right?
Yes.
Navigate out.
Yeah. So there's some
or time.
I mean, you could always stop the timer on disappearing or something too, right?
And what about showing score? Maybe we want to show the score summary of the game. Answers. Correct pass missed. There we go.
So maybe that's even a different screen that you want to go to after.
So we could say like times up here, it's another state, but at this point start down the 2-second timer or whatever.
Yeah.
And then go navigate that way.
So times up is the state, and then exactly.
And then we do. So we've got. I'm not gonna do that screen because I'm gonna.
No.
We'll come to that. And it just because we can reuse the screen for the summary of the game to show like the video because we want to replay the video. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And then what the answers were. So and that we can reuse because we're going to show like a list of the games that have been played, right? And then you can tap on that and go to the same screen we're talking about now. Cool.
So we've got times up state. We're good when the timer ends. What's the next state we want to think about? Like I guess it's like we have the initial state, right? Which is like the getting ready happens on the previous screen, right?
Right.
So this is like you get to this screen and it's go time. Timer starts ticking down. First answer needs to appear.
So we're automatically doing that. So we're elapsing. So the first thing we want to do is check the time, right? We want to tick the time down. Start. You know what we want to do is, so this is the game timer, but we want to do, okay, let's get rid of this.
Yeah.
The game start time's a little bit less relevant. I'm wondering if we can just kind of subtract. So let's say it's a 60-second, because this is running every 1 second. It's not going to be perfect.
No,
but it's not going to take us a second to run through that loop. So it should be pretty close.
Close enough anyway for a game, right?
So if we have some sort of global cancellation token that we hit when we get to the game time, right? So when this is fully elapsed, because we're going to subtract seconds here, then we can kill our answer loop, right? Because that's running on a different thread.
Yes.
So, which also we need to be careful of that because we're all off thread here. But we'll see some crashes. We'll deal with it. So what if we just do a timer here, like set an integer of 60 and keep subtracting it. So every time we come into this loop, let's do that.
Yeah, because and then eventually, if you wanted to configure as a setting, like how long do you want your games to be, right? You can feed that in.
So if we do very first thing we do when we come into this loop, no matter what, subtract 1. We still have to worry about the initial game loop. We have to put that down. Initial loop. Okay. Let's put our cancellation token source. Game token source. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, it's the game.
And we'll pass that. So when we start the game timer. We start the answer thing first. So what's our, what do we call that? Do answer? There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so you want to just, do you want to, I guess you don't need to, yeah, but you're going to need to what? Do a little underscore to it?
Yeah.
Make it happy?
Just to keep it in memory. Okay, so that should go, we don't really have to, we'll have to try catches in there, not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So
that starts listening for flips and for like spoken answers. It's good.
Yep.
And then our timer starts going.
So we should probably set the initial state here. So initial state, set state, screen state is in answer.
Yep.
Okay, because we know that's going to be a thing. Why is it not like this? Why do I have to wait this? Why is that async?
I probably you might have like a
main thread.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but like
it's probably stupid to do here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take that out. That was see.
You probably don't need a task there.
No, we will need to do the main thread.
Sure. Yeah,
when we're in the loop, but not right now. Let's worry about that when we get to it. So we set the initial state. This do answer is going to set the initial answer. The countdown timer. I wonder what AI decided to use for it. Okay, timer text. I think because we were looking at like, I think we should just make this simple because I think we were thinking like, hey, it could be like something like this. What if we just do like, even if it's like 120 seconds, we don't have it as a string.
You don't need, and you don't need like, you don't need like the unit or anything, right? Like you just want to see a big number. What's my time left?
Right. So let's do 60 seconds here, and then we can use that instead.
Yeah.
So then we're always updating the right thing. Of course, it's gonna. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So watch main thread. Because the one thing is that we're going to be updating that, checking, then wanting to flip to the main thread. So we might have to do this logic in a temp variable and then assign it back. Right? Yeah. So we got that. And we probably only want to tick this though if we're in that in answer state, right? Only tick because otherwise
depends what other states we have.
Have you played the game? If you played Heads Up?
Yeah, but I mean,
the most frustrating thing is when you pass or you accept, is that I think the timer keeps running and you're like, okay, give me the next question. You're killing time here, man.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe we can just do that and say screw it. You get it right or wrong, just keep ticking.
I think it's fine. Start with that, right? And you can always improve it later.
Okay, so we've got our countdown. We don't need to worry about elapsed or remaining, and we need to keep track of how long if we could have our loop do. Yeah, we'll get back there. Let's comment out all this crap too. And all this crap too.
Yeah.
We know what we got to do. We'll just come through it. So we could have do answer. As long as it's not canceled. Once it marks the answer, we have that answer type. We could do the set state here.
Yeah, I think you probably want to because that's going to be the thing that triggers that change, right?
So then we're going to set the state. We'll have to do this in main timer. So we're going to do whatever the answer type was. And we need to flip that to the screen type.
Yeah, screen state. Yeah, again, an answer because that's what's going on.
We have to flip it back. So we need to do await task dot delay 2 seconds, right? With the cancellation token.
Yeah, so if you get in here, so yeah, you're marking the answer. Does the mark answer call set state anywhere? Do we need to set the state? Yeah, there we go.
So if we do that, so we start as in answer. We set our answer text.
Yeah.
Timer's being held elsewhere.
Yeah. You're waiting for the answer. Once you get the answer, now we need to set the state again to correct answer or something, right?
Oh yeah, we have to set the state
before the timer. Yeah, before the delay.
And this would be
so that one's not in answer though.
Yes, it's going to be correct or pass. And we had the loop for this.
So I see what. Yeah, so you're trying to get the type so that we get the right state. Yeah, look at that.
Figured it out for us. Look at that.
Yeah.
And then we set the state.
Yep.
We're aware of
that can set the color and thing, and then you wait, and then we got to set it back to. Oh no, it'll just loop around.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah,
because we're still waiting for cancellation, but that's being held elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just keep running happily along.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it cancels, even if you were mid-answer, it should still go to the I'm done screen or whatever we call that. Great. Hey, we're off to a good start, man. I think this is a good start.
One of these weeks we'll actually get to run the thing and see something happen.
I mean, we're not doing bad. We got about 10 minutes left. We babbled for a few minutes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody. I can't see the comments. Can you see the comments?
I don't. I mean, I don't think there's anybody commenting live. So
all right. Well, if anybody's telling me we're doing stupid, I mean, the good thing is the architecture is pretty lean, so we can change it however we need.
Yeah.
So let's do this. So we know what we need to do, right? Now that the countdown's done, if the countdown is less than, it shouldn't ever be past that, but game is over. Stop timer. Stop timer. Set state. Set state to game over. Okay? So those are to-dos. Else, if the countdown, what do we say, was less than 10, it's less than or equal to 10 seconds. So we're not doing this stuff. We're not doing any of this stuff. You all gone. You gone.
Yeah.
You gone. You can hang around as part of our to-do code. Otherwise, see, it tried to get wild with the remaining time.
Yeah.
We don't need any of that. So it's all gone too.
Well, it's funny too, because like if I was going to go to that extent, I would probably do it in like the binding format code or something instead.
Yeah. This is weird. Okay, so then we want to vibrate the device. I don't like that this isn't dependency injected, but we'll deal with that after. DI this stuff. I really wish this was rather in an event anyways, but I guess the loop is tight. You want a tight loop here, so you know what's going on, as opposed to spraying this stuff all out. We just want to make sure we don't await it.
Yeah.
And then maybe play a sound here as well. We'll get to that. I think that's it.
ChatGPT can give me sounds too, if it can make up sounds.
So I think that's not bad. That's a pretty darn good start. So we do our answer. When the game is over. So when the game is over, we want to cancel the game cancellation token source. We just want to stop that because that is done. We could cancel this 8. And do we need to cancel it async? Maybe wait for it. And let's just start. We'll start with the easy one. Okay, so game is over. I don't know if they were stopping the timer. They weren't stopping we need to stop the timer. The timer's done. So game timer, that's done. We don't need you anymore. One of the things I usually do in traditional, like when I'm timers, the first thing you come in, you stop the timer, try catch, start timer at the end. That's just something I've been doing for years, but it's a bit different. It's a bit of an odd duck. So game is over. We set the state. I mean, we should probably set the screen state. No, we should call the same function.
Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, the more we can do that in the screen state call, then it's like your logic is there, right? The one that we kind of were doing differently, although it's in answer. No, there was another spot that I was thinking, I'm like, oh, well, we could probably set state, but it's kind of weird. Oh, it was the countdown timer thing, but that's not really setting the screen state as much as like doing the sound.
That's what it's mad about. Okay, so if we do game state, game over. I don't like that it shows red. Why is it red? You're dead. What if I got answers right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Let's do what's a nice pretty color? Green?
Well, green is when you're got a correct answer.
What do we got here? We got orange, green,
What do we
blue.
have for pass?
So orange.
So you could do, yeah, but blue is running.
Blue is kind of neutral. We're putting too much thought into this.
I know, but you know.
Yeah, this is what we do. Red.
Purple.
Blue, violet.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Done. State text, game over. We don't need to say time's up. Who cares? We know that. I think that's...
An answer you want to set. So do we want, you want to set the actual...
We don't want to set the text here because this is the state text is the answer or the question.
Yeah.
So we don't need to set anything there.
Well, but because you're thinking because we set it up above.
Well, we set up the answer because this is the thing. We've got a bunch of stuff. I think we just set this to empty.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think the one thing that we need to be aware of, so when we look at our game page, the way AI decided to do it, we need to make this timer now, countdown. So there's answer text.
Right, and then there's state
text, which is really, I'm almost wondering if we should be backfilling this whole guy. This guy would be like everything. It'd be the answer if we're in answer mode. It would be the...
I'm going to say no because, and you could if you were going to do like a formatted string, but I think if you have the state, I think it's neat to see, I'm not remember the game, neat to see the answer still, but then see correct for that 2 seconds where it flashes green, right? So that I see both,
right.
like, oh, I got it correct, and that was the answer still.
Right.
Otherwise, it's like, oh, what did it? Yeah, I don't know. I think
Let's
it's
leave
more
it for
consistent.
now. Let's leave it for now. Looks good. Okay, so we've got our screen states set up. We're guaranteed we're going to have some thread issues. That's all right. We've got the registration here. That's all nice and tidy. We've got our loop here. This looks more or less right.
I think so.
At this point.
Yeah.
We've got our vibration. It's a fairly slow vibrate, but that's all right. And I don't think, so we need to, let's finish our game wait, task.delay of, it's 2 seconds. Oh, this isn't a...
But you're doing it in the elapsed. So you gotta do something. Yeah, continue with or something.
Because at this point, nothing's going to loop anymore. Like it's done, right? So nothing.
Right.
So now we can, if we have I got the navigator in here? Do we have our navigation service? I probably do, but let's just make sure. I don't think we need these variables anymore. They're all junk. Junk. Got our timer. Oh, yeah, we don't have the navigation service, so iNavigator. And that's beautiful. Still need that async await. We're not worried about that. Starts the game. On disappearing will stop the game, whatever. This will, on the first loop, this sets the answer. It's funny, we set the in answer here because we wanted to have everything set up, but we don't need to do that anymore. So that is the equivalent of, we don't even need this to be sync. Let's even move this code up here because this is starting to, there. That's looking a little bit better. Am I making sense? Am I being weird?
No, I think I'm reviewing. It looks like it's working. Now we do.
What is this?
Did you change stop game? Because like we were just manually stopping the timer somewhere else.
Yeah, so we'll have to. I'm not sure what we're going to do here because we'll have to worry about tombstoning and all that junk, right?
Yeah.
What's something we can come to, like what does stop game mean? There's also this other cancellation token source where I'm not sure where the hell that came from.
I think we can get rid of that one because we're kind of doing double duty with the game token.
Right. So when we're disappearing at the end of that's the funny thing when we're done the game. So we want to stop the timer, unhook it, cancel the token. Maybe we should put that all in this function. So we want to cancel game token source. There's a whole whack of stuff we have to do when we're done. So we stop the timer, cancel the timer, cancel the the game, like the answer loop. We need to shut down all of our detectors. Detector. And we'll make this an async task, even though it's not really a thing. So I'm not doing a dot wait. I like my apps.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to wait, stop the detectors, cancel the token. So cancel the answer loop.
No, minor suggestion, but we could probably do a task dot when all and await that for the detectors so we can stop them all. Can have them stopping simultaneously. Right?
Isn't that what we're doing?
Your answer detectors. Well, you're looping through it. In theory, it might be fine. I don't know how long it takes to stop the audio, the speech to text stuff.
It'll be seconds. It'll be like milliseconds. I think that's an optimization we can worry about.
Yeah, fair.
So if we do, I think the first thing we want to do is cancel the timer game loop. And then last but not least, end the game.
Yeah, you don't want the timer firing while you're trying to cancel stuff.
Let's move this private variable up so that now we are aware of all of our stuff that's running. We can make that read only because we're never going to restart a game. And we'll stop the game. That looks like ass, but it'll work. And I think here is where we want to say no. Stop the game.
Yeah.
Because the game is done. We don't need to do anything.
Oh, you're not async in here.
Yeah, I don't want to be async. No, maybe I do. It's not a big deal. Async void. Async void is not bad as long as you're careful. And we're going to crash this out a couple times anyways until we get all the threads done.
Yeah, sometimes it's inevitable.
So we set game over. We have our answer text. We stopped the game. So we stopped our timer. We stopped our answer loop. We've stopped the video because the video's done. We've stopped all the detectors. So we're not murdering the battery. We're going to wait 2 seconds. And then last but not least, navigate to summary page. Summary page. And that we can probably leave till next week. Because I think that is a pretty damn good place to. We haven't even run this app yet, but
it's getting there. And this was like I think probably the most challenging in terms of like just thinking through the logic of it. There's still a few gaps, like, you know, probably they're the sort of things that you're going to find like crash reports from if you don't do stuff at some point, right? But it's not like they're mostly edge case, like the thread safety. Yes. We wait 2 seconds to navigate after stopping the game. Well, what happens if I close the screen or close the app while we're waiting before we navigate? That kind of stuff.
I'm just typing up for next week.
Yeah, we might also want to think about, like you mentioned, tombstoning. So like instead of stopping the game completely when the page disappears, maybe we want to pause so that we can come back to it if you like swiped out to do something or whatever. Maybe we pause the timer and pause the whole state of the game until the on appearing hits again. If we haven't intentionally closed out of the page, right?
Yes. Okay. So I think this is a good spot to stop anyways, but I've put up like our notes so we know what the hell we're doing next week.
Yeah.
So we know we've got to worry about thread safety, but we can deal with that when we run. Music and sound effects, we can probably do that for fun after. That's kind of like the video recording. It's an add-in. We need our game summary screen, and that'll be pretty easy, right? Because we just got to show the answers. We've already done our game context, so that guy is saving all the data based on what we saw, what we got right, yada yada yada. We've got our video recording that's in there now. Should work, but we'll see what we come up with. That's probably a pretty good state.
How do you feel about like, I don't know what you do in your own apps ever. Like this always to me screams, especially for the logic part of it. Like I want to take this view model and write some tests, unit tests like that. Not that we need to do that live, that can be kind of boring to watch, but I'm just curious more your in a real world situation, like what's your move here?
So definitely for this view model, I would be doing some tests. We don't need to do stuff like testing the main thread and stuff.
No,
but it's very easy to test the view model.
And if you've got, you marked it down like we want to inject some of the stuff, you've got the services for the detectors and things, so we can easily mock those kind of things up and test those nicely.
Yep. Yeah. So what I would be doing is bringing this view model over, because it's very easy to spin up a unit test project. I know I think that's been a long complaint for Maui, but it's not hard, right? No. You can target net9, create a unit test project. Now, sometimes you have to get rid of the XAML compilation. So you can say, if it's net9, remove all the XAML, or like don't compile the XAML, because really I want to test the view models, right? If it's an integration test.
Yeah, exactly. You could also do like the ugly thing and like, add a link to the CS files you're interested in pulling into a different test project.
Yep. Pull them in over as like statically or like links.
Yeah.
Yeah, could do that.
And then the way that I would typically do this now is I would have Copilot. I'd be like, okay, I want to write a bunch of tests. Like I would set things up and give it like the, in a way, like AI is always nice for the boilerplate, but here I feel like you might run into the situation where it doesn't quite understand what you want. So I'd get that set up. I'd write like one simple test that is make a new view model, whatever. And then I'd say, okay, Copilot, I want to test these variations or these edge cases. Can you write the unit test for me? Right.
I think you find it will do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of source generators with Copilot. So it's usually pretty, I guess it depends on which version of AI you're getting that day, but it usually does a pretty darn good job writing the source generators. If you say, given this, I want this. And then once it does that, and it usually has to take several swipes at it.
Yeah.
Then you're like, now create the unit test here. And it does a pretty darn good job, because unit tests, I mean, the easiest part is once you know the input, this is your expected output, fill in the in-between. It's usually a pretty good job of doing it, right? It just depends on where your output is. Like, so in cases of stop game, right? Where's our stop game? Or specifically when the timer ends, so we go to game over, we could detect that state, right? We could detect the screen state, or we can detect the navigation is indeed going to the summary page. So there's many ways of capturing that output. The only thing I think that I'm going to say I did wrong, or I haven't accounted for yet, is because this is timing, right? Like you don't want to sit there and wait like a second or 60 seconds for your game to run. So there is like the time provider. So this is built into net9, and you can create timers off of this guy, right? So like a thread timer. It's not quite what people are used to, but you can create this.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that thing.
And you can push the timer forward, so you can be like, skip that 60 seconds right to the end.
So that's nice, because then your logic just kind of still stays the same, right?
Right. And that's the thing, because a lot of people use like daytime now or UTC now, which that's common. And I get it, but it's very hard to test dates because that's a shifting pattern on you, right? It means you always have to account for that. But if you're doing calculations on dates, it's a pain. Yeah. So what if I can, again, if I've got a time provider and this is like an abstraction, I can say, you know what, actually get me the local now, whatever that is. And you can kind of emulate what that is. So you know what your input is. So that way you can control the output.
Yeah.
So these are all things we should have done. Maybe if we do unit tests, maybe we can add them. We can add them later. I'll leave this here for now. I'll comment it out. Cool. So I think that's a pretty good place to stop. We've got some to-dos in there in our README for where we want to continue off. I think the game is looking fairly healthy, other than we're expecting some crashes in the main thread. We'll fix that as we get there. Did I miss anything else?
I think, next time, maybe we can even make it to the point of running it once.
All right. I will commit this.
Commit it. All right, cool. That's it for this week. Thanks all. See you next time. same place, maybe different time. We'll see. All for gone.net.